You know, I've been able to break records, build a company, scale my life, make millions in sales, and I'm going to tell you what you're going to have. If you don't have this core element, and if this core element doesn't get bigger in your life, it's going to be impossible for you to hit that next level of your life. It's your self-worth. It's your self-worth. Your self-worth is the single most determining factor next to God on how far that you can go. But self-worth is unshakable. It's the belief in yourself regardless of outcomes. The belief in yourself regardless of outcomes. Have you guys seen some people that you look up to have just a ridiculous self-worth and a ridiculous self-belief in themselves? How do you think that they got there? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to walk through this with you, and I'm going to give you 20 things that you should pin to your wall and you should be thinking about every single day. Number one, I want you to reframe objection. Number one, I want you to reframe rejection. A lot of people right now, man, they get rejected or something happens and they attach their self-worth to that rejection. They're like, oh man, that deal didn't work out. Man, that employee didn't work out. They get rejected by somebody and then they just quit. They don't understand that, dude, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, how many shots do you guys think that they missed in the NBA? Steph Curry missed the most shots in the league last year. The most shots in the league. How many did he make, though? He made the most. Do you think he stopped shooting the ball? Some of you guys have stopped shooting the ball. Some of you guys have stopped shooting the threes. Some of you guys, last year, you gave up halfway during the year. You got your ass kicked, and you're like, you just quit. Guys, in sales, are we going to lose day by day? Are we going to shoot shots and not make shots? Okay. The person that can deal with rejection and still maintain a great attitude, still Jeff Marcus, not get in their head. Something doesn't work for you. I want you to start reframing it and be like, good, man. Guys, have you ever had something that didn't work for you and it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to you? Like a relationship or something? Hector said, yeah. I goes like, yeah. Hey, remember when, that relationship didn't work out, that business partner didn't work out, and it sucked? And it felt like hell, and you're like, oh man, dude, but the way you chose to look at it was everything. And then it turned out to be that God was guiding you towards that, through that rejection, through those different things. But a lot of people don't have the ability to see clearly, man. They just see, they just see the shit. They don't just see that, man, if God gave you a lot of the problems in your life right now, and you're able to bench press those problems off of your chest, the rejection, whatever it is off of you, that's how you get strong, right, Hector? Right, Ernest? That's how you get strong, man. Listen, man, you think I'm not dealing with rejection? I'm dealing with all kinds of different shit today. We had a vendor, a vendor turn this down. We had this happen today. We had this happen, this rejection. And I said, good, man. We need more of it. We need more of it. In sales, if you're a person that just, you shoot one shot and then somebody throws you off and you make no more calls for the month, that could be your hole. Okay? When you have that self-worth, you don't stop. You're a dog that has to eat until they're full, and you don't get full, so you don't stop, man. This year, if you want higher self-worth and you want a higher net worth, you want just a higher worth in general, don't stop, man. I challenge some of you guys to touch the line this year. I challenge some of you guys, that aren't going to touch the line to smack yourself in the face, throw your head in the toilet, and wake the hell up, man. Some people are talking about the market's really hard right now. Oh my God. Listen, the market's never been easier, bro. You got to get better. Listen, here's what I'm going to tell you. You can walk into any place in America, any place around the world, and there's not a lot of people on fire. There's a lot of people that are focused on themselves. There's not a lot of people that are focused on helping other people, making other people feel really good. There's not a lot of people with their eyes are on fire. Their team is on fire. Our team wins pretty damn easy. You know why? Because, dude, we're on fire for what we're connected to. Dude, we don't care if we're rejected, man. Rejection is the littlest part of the game that we're focused on. Because you know what we're focused on? Number 2, faith. Faith, man. The trust that you're worthy because of your higher purpose, because of who God made you to be. Some of you are like, man, I've dealt with this. Dude, we've all dealt with that. All right, everybody, on 3, throw your problems into the middle of the circle. Okay? Now look at your neighbor's problems. You're like, oh shit, let me go get my problems back. I don't want that guy's problems. Hey guys, here's what I want you to think about this, dude, man. In the times of your discouragement, can you give other people encouragement? That will help you get through your hard times. Listen, man, if you're having a bad day, Go make somebody else's day. If you're having a bad day, man, focus on who God made you to be. Don't focus on who you are today. Focus on who God made you to be, man. He made you to be powerful. He made you to be aware. He made you to have fun. He made you to roll through rejection. He made you to be different than everybody else. You got to tell yourself this. I have this meeting with myself every day. I was riding to work today, man. I had everything coming at me, right? You guys ever have one of them days? It's like the wife's got this going on. I spilled Starbucks in my lap. I got, like gray pants on. I'm going into a sales meeting. I just told our sales meeting, hey, you can never be late. Andy's calling me. I bet you're not saying it's just like, and I just had to be like, hey, man, slow down. Who did God make you to be today? All these things you think they're going wrong? They're going right. Something's happening and it's going right. The day is working for you, man. And if you can really truly believe that everything happens for a reason, like for real, everything. I have this word, assume positive intent. API, assume positive intent. You cut my ass off, Lee Murphy, on the way to work. I'm like, that guy needs it. He needs to get somewhere, man. Let him go. It's no big deal. I dropped that coffee in my lap. I'm like, dude, it's because God was trying to save me from going through a car accident or something. You know what I mean? I walk in late it's just, you got to assume positive intent. You can't be so negative. Some of the problems on here is a lot of people, man, they're just caught up in their own problems, man. Dude, you don't realize that your problems are nothing, Michael. Your problems are nothing, bro. Your problems are nothing, dude. We all got clean water on this call. We got electricity. All right. We have 100% more than we all need. Would you guys agree? Are we all rich? Are we all rich? We're all rich. The wise man seeks happiness under his feet. The fool seeks happiness in the distance. Yeah. You're looking for happiness, dude. I've been the guy looking for the Lamborghini and got the Lamborghini and was still ice cold. It didn't change you, dude. But when you're broke, you're like, no, it'll change you. No, it won't, bro. It'll actually make you worse. And it's actually, once you start making a lot more money, you're like, man, I'm gonna when I get that million, I'm gonna treat people different. I'm gonna be happy. No, man, you get that million and you got way more problems, man. It's way harder to make $1 million. I sometimes wish that I could go back to just making $60,000 sometimes. And then I see my wife's credit card bill and I'm like, oh shit, that ain't gonna work. She spends that every month. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me drink some of this. Number 3, shift from confidence to self-worth. Confidence is based on external shit. Okay? It's based on external shit. The self-worth is in you. It's unshakable. It's what you've been through. Jeff, it's what you've been through. Trevor, it's that you've made it out of it. Are we all 100% unkillable on this call? You're unkillable. Some of you're not even shaking your head. You're like, I'm not unkillable. You should see my life. Ian, it's fucking just destroyed. It's drastic, Ian. Dude, I got $0 in the bank, man. I'm just fighting to make it, Ian. I know, bro. That's okay. You're still alive. You still beat 100% of the problems that are in your life. Do you understand that? If you understand that, Osvaldo, if you understand that, Anthony, if you understand that, David Ramos, there ain't nothing that's defeated you yet, bro. You're 100% undefeated. Everybody say I'm 27-0, bro. Say I'm 27-0. You got to be undefeatable this year, man. You got to know that you're worth it, that God called you to be this person. Wake up, dude. If you think you're a loser, you're going to be a loser. If you think you're a winner, you're going to be a winner. If you think you're a legend, you're going to be a legend. Problem is your family, your friends, somebody around you has brainwashed you that you're not, that you're less than. You've let your old past relationship or some shame or some bullshit, get rid of all that, man. Dude, I've been cheating on. I've done the cheating. I've lost this. I've done that. I ain't that guy now. I'm a winner now. I'm a legend now. I'm not playing to win games. I'm playing to win championships. I'm playing to submit my name in the damn Hall of Fame. And I know that it's going to take one thing to do that. Have you ever seen a Hall of Famer that's unconfident? Have you ever seen a Hall of Famer? Have you ever seen a speaker? Have you ever seen a leader that's unconfident? Yeah, not a good one. Not a good one. You damn sure ain't seen a world impactor that's unconfident in themselves. It's convincing them of all the other bullshit that most people are convincing themselves of. Guys, 100% of us are world shakers. 100% of us are that guy. I think his name is Khabib. Okay? It's just some of y'all still don't believe it, man. You're like, but dude, I'm 19. I've never made money. Cool, man. Act like you've made $1 million. I was telling one of our new guys that walked in here, he's a very high producing guy, man. He crushed it in the car business and he walked in and he said, man, like, and he's just walking around new. He's walking around new. I said, bro, you can't walk around new. If your face looks new and you're getting into sales, people are going to treat you new. You got to walk around with confidence. You got to walk around with energy. You got to walk around with that swag, that BDE. Some of y'all are like timid and shy. I'm like, if you're in sales or leadership, guys, timid and shy guys don't win. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm introverted. Okay? Most people don't believe that. Okay? You catch me outside of the office with my family at a barbecue or something, I say 4 words, man. You know what? I'm introverted in sales, in leadership, in my business, because I know my business. So I get confidence because I know my business and I know how to perform and I know what my self-worth is. But naturally, I would be cool with never talking to any of you guys. I'll be honest with you. I'd be cool locked in a door in a room and just working. That's where that's what I like. Okay. But my self-worth comes from I've ran at this pressure. Andy called me 5 minutes, texted me 5 minutes ago that his plane wasn't landing. I didn't have to practice. I didn't have to prepare. I've done this shit 1,000 times, man. I know what I'm here to do. I know what God called me to do. And I honestly don't care if any of you guys like it. I know I'm going to like it. My confidence ain't in if you like it. My confidence, I didn't get on here and be like, I hope I do good today. I got on here like, I'm going to destroy it. I'm going to kill it because I know who I am. I know who I am. You know, you got to know that, man. You got to know, hey, I want the ball, coach. I want the ball. I'm the guy that's going to sink the game winner. Okay. You feel me? Give me the damn ball. And that's how you got to run in life. Number 4, you got to embrace the failure, man. Failure is a natural part of success. It's actually one of the most critical elements of success. You know, I was in the car business, and out of the last 60, 70 years in the car business, there's probably 5 or 6 people who have ever sold more cars than me. You know, and I'm nobody special. I got off the bus. I remember my first car deal like it was yesterday. I rode the 15L. That's on Colfax. Up Colfax. I was just a kid. I didn't have dress clothes. I showed up. They're like, you got to need dress clothes. I was like, I don't got any. You know, they're like, all right, wear this polo. I was wearing an extra large polo. I was like 104 pounds. You know, got a big ass head. You know what I'm saying? Skinny. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Yeah, dude. It's embarrassing, dude. And I got off that, and on my way to that car deal, I remember this chick, these 2 chicks got in a fight, and these 2 chicks, like, one stabbed the other one. And then I got off the bus, like, after I witnessed this, which that's just kind of how the 15L is. Ernest knows, he's from Colorado. It's crazy, dude. It rides up Colfax through the ghetto, like the longest street in America, and it's just nasty, and I didn't have a car or none of that shit. And I got off this bus, man, and my managers are like, you look a little terrified. I'm like, I just want somebody to get stabbed. Go. You know, but I've seen people get shot. I've been stabbed a couple times right here, too. So I'm like, it's no big deal. But I'll tell you what, the one thing that made me different than sales and everybody else is I believe that I was there to change not my life, my family's life. And I walked out there. My owner said, hey, you can go out there and get a customer. And he said, if you somehow can sell 3 cars today, which we've never seen happen, we'll give you $5,000. I said, 5 what? I was like, I ain't even got $100, dude. I just finished eating lunch out of Safeway and going and stealing food out of the produce aisle and eating food. You know what I'm saying? You know, I already got 3 tickets on the bus on the way throughout the month, and you get a 4th ticket, they don't, you know, I think take you to jail or some shit. You know, but I would say, oh, my brother, and then so they put it under my brother's name. You know? So, you know, but here's what I did. I didn't have a lot of skill. I didn't have a lot of that. You know what I had? I knew I was there. And that wasn't for me. My grandfather was a really good man. He was a really good man. He tried really hard with me and my brother. He was a really good guy. He was that guy when you walked into a room, you knew he was there. Big energy, you know, a lot of charisma. He opened up schools, never did it for money, never had a lot of money, but he sent millions of kids to schools. Denver School of the Arts is his school. Career Education Center of Denver, his school. He created the curriculum for it. And he was just a good guy, man. And my whole life, I just wanted to be somebody for him. And I was not good in school, coming from an educator's grandson. I was just ready to sell drugs and other things that weren't things you should be doing. I didn't envy teachers. I envy Scarface. You know, you got anybody feel me on that one? And then now in my life, I'm like, I envy teachers, not Scarface. You know there. But what I'm telling you is that when I walked out there, man, and that guy told me to go out there, I took that self-worth, that energy, that confidence, that belief, that self-worth. I knew that I could do it. And I walked out there and I just had a walk that was different than people. I had a belief that was different than people. I got in front of these customers and I made friends like nobody else. I didn't even know how to sell a car. I sold 3 that day. I made that $5,000. I never was the same. And you know what I did to reinforce my self-confidence? Number 5, I kept investing in myself. I remember I gave my mom all that money and I saw a Grant Cardone ad or something. It was Grant Cardone ad. And I had no money, man. And you know what? I went to the credit union down the street and the credit union said they would give me $800. And I couldn't imagine they were going to give me $800. I'm like, dude, I've touched 5,800 this month. I'm freaking, and I took that $800 and I bought a ticket to a Miami event. It was like one of the first 10X deals. There was like 19 people there. This is 16 years ago. Okay. And me and my dumbass twin brother, he got approved too. We flew down there and we didn't know where we were going to sleep. We've never been on a plane before, so we didn't know you needed to buy a 2-way ticket, right? And we got into that event and we had to sleep outside, which it's Miami, so don't feel bad for me. I slept on the beach. It was actually cool. You know what I'm saying? And you know what that guy told me? He said, man, he's like, you need more energy. You need more confidence. You need more belief. I already thought I had this. He's like, nah, you don't got it at the level that you're going to need to have it at to get to where you need to go. He hit me with 4 objections. I didn't know any of them. I didn't know my business better than anybody else. It pissed me off. But you know what, man? I'm going to tell you something, man. I went to this credit union again across the street. And you know what they told me? They said, yeah, we'll loan you $3,500. And I was like, I didn't even know I had credit. So I parted ways with that money, which was like 10 grand a day. And I started to develop this skill inside of me. And that's the self-worth piece. That investing in yourself piece, like you guys are currently doing in this ETA, will lead to 3 things that will always change your life. Write this down. New people, new information, and new experiences. I kept coming back. Guys, I'm gonna tell you guys something. Some of you guys, you're going to be here for 3 or 4 more calls. The bill's going to come due and you don't have the money and you're not going to get crazy enough to get it. Because if you were crazy enough, you would stay in a program for a long period of time. Okay? I stayed in that program for years. I was Andy's #1 client before Andy had a training program. And I was always the craziest student. I was always at the seminars. I was always growing. New people, new information, new experiences. Those 3 things always will change your life. And I got that. I went back to the car dealership and they were making fun of me. Next month, I sold 35 cars. Next month, 55. Next month, 60. They were still making fun of me for going into these things. They were still making fun of me for training. I'm making more than the general manager. The owner of the dealership used to have to call me in his office and give me my paycheck separately from everybody else because he didn't want to embarrass all the managers. My whole career, 8.5 years, the sales managers never saw my shit. Okay, they might have saw my draw check, but they never saw my commission check. Okay, I'm just telling you can be whoever you want. Number 6, practice gratitude, man. The salesperson that has the most gratitude, they win. They always win. They always win. This person, gratitude deeply shifts your mindset. When I think about my son right now, I'm so grateful for him. 9 months old, man. He's so beautiful, man. When I think about, my grandpa, what he did for me, man, I get so happy, man. When I think about these little moments, man, I'm not needing anything. I'm not here to sell people dog shit. I'm not here to stuff something down somebody's throat. Listen, I'm here to serve people. I'm here to give them exactly what they want. I'm here to solve a problem. I'm just so happy to be around people. See, a lot of people, you don't care about people. That's your problem. You're dark, bro. You gotta get your heart back into it. You gotta stop leading with greed. Lead with the seed, seeding people, but be seedy, not greedy. You know what I mean? But if you're the most grateful person in the room, you always win. You're always win because you're always happy. You guys want to be around happy people or not happy people? Okay? You want to be around happy people. So this year, maybe guys on this Zoom call, none of this means anything to you. Maybe it means everything to you. Maybe you've identified 5 areas you need to change in. Maybe you've identified 1. I don't really care about you identifying 100 areas. Maybe you just employ 1 thing. Some of you guys, I can tell your face needs to have more fun. Your face looks like you're so damn serious, so damn skeptical, so damn thinking. I'm like, bro, you're seriously going to have bad paychecks if you're just thinking about that. Okay? So, be happy, man. Write that down, man. And listen, man, you can be peaceful. You can know that like everything is going to come to you as you become this person, as you become that person that has this type of investment in yourself. Number 7, challenge negative self-talk, man. When yourself is telling yourself something, you got 2 decisions really in life is how I see it. There's 2 decisions every day that you have to make. Number 1 is you have to tell yourself to do the things that you know you should be doing. that you don't want to do. Do the things that you know you should be doing that you don't want to do. You're going to have 1,000 choices in the day. And ultimately, you're going to have to tell yourself to do the things that you know you should be doing when you don't want to do. And then number 2, you're going to have to tell yourself to not do the things that you're not supposed to be doing every time they come up. So like, I know I shouldn't be hanging out with that loser. And then you go hang out with him because you have a fear of missing out. You're missing out on what, dude? You're missing out on what? Hanging with the wrong people, drinking, doing dumb shit. Some of y'all, you got to get rid of the drinking. Some of you got to get rid of the smoking weed. You don't realize that the one thing holding you back, the self-worth piece that's holding you back, is that drinking, is that smoking weed, is that website. It's the one thing that's got to go this year, man. And watch your self-confidence and self-belief go through the roof. But when you get that negative self-talk, I want you to understand one thing. Every person that you look up to in the entire world, they all have that negative self-talk. Every single one of them. There's not one of them. You're like, it starts to get lower and lower and lower and lower. Right now, maybe it's really loud for you. Maybe it's the only thing you can hear. The only way to correct it is action. The only way to correct it is to move closer to your purpose. Your body and your mind is telling you, hey, you need to do this thing, and then you're not doing it. I have a guy, I think he's on here. He came up to meet me, and he wanted to sign up on this program. And so I was like, yeah, come up here and meet me, dude. And he's like, I'm broke. I'm driving Uber. I'm 28 years old. I'm out of shape. He's telling me all these things, right? And he comes up here. I can see he's hurting, man. He's like, dude, I'm getting on the phone with a psychiatrist. I'll do that meeting, and then I'll come up there and I'm just listening. And, I did it, and I think therapy is important. But you know what I told him when he got up here? I said, bro, you wouldn't need a therapist if you took action. Right now, you're driving Uber, and you know you should be in sales. Right now, you're driving Uber, and you know that you know that there's a couple steps that you could take right now to get yourself out of this position, but your body feels trapped. You feel trapped. I felt trapped before. Move. You ain't a plant, bro. You ain't a plant. You ain't a plant, bro. You ain't a tree. Get your ass up and move. I'm like, bro, go get this. He's like, well, where do I start? I'm like, just knock on any business owner's door and be fired up, and they'll hire you right now because they just need anybody that wants to win. Okay. I'm like, he's like, we're like, I have all these thoughts. I'm like, bro, tell yourself to turn those thoughts off, man. Go work out. When was the last time you hit the gym? He's like 4 days ago. I go, there's your problem. Hit it twice. Hit it twice a day for the next 100 days. All right, guys, we have a thing called the Reborn Challenge. If you go to school in ETA, we have something coming out for you guys that's going to make it really easy to understand because I know right now there's a little element of confusion. Number 8 is surround yourself with the right support. You got to have the right support around you. People, and listen, man, if you have people around you that don't support you, get rid of them. Get rid of them, man. I had to sit people down and fire some people from my life, like a business. You see Jeff Marcus, he's got his kids there. He can't let people in his life that don't believe how he believes. He can't let people around him, friends, family, sisters, brothers, if you're really committed to this life of stuff, you're going to have the people around you that believe in you. I believe in you. The Elliott Group believes in you. The people on here, if you haven't met them, some of you guys have come down to our school event that I had 6 months ago, and you guys stayed in the same Airbnbs. You guys meet on that app, and you guys are rolling together, and you guys are helping each other, and it's crazy what we've created in that community. Some of you guys, Nico West, you know what I'm talking about, dude. You got best friends in the community. Jay, you know what I'm talking about. We have some Edward, you know what I'm talking about. Cherish, you know what I'm talking about. Ernest, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. So you got to have that. And you also need to have a runway. Our pastor came up here, and he was having a hard time with some things. And, he walked in here. He didn't really know a lot about us, and it changed his life. And he was like, dude, this is crazy. I like what you guys stand for. I like what you guys do. We started doing more together. And, he's like, why don't you guys open up the third location, the third Impact Church in Fountain Hills? So starting February 1st, we will have church service here every Sunday. We're going to have our own church every Sunday. How amazing is that going to be? That doesn't have anything to do with our Elliott Group, maybe necessarily coaching. But then when you're here that one service for the seminar, shoot, now we don't even need to take you to Scottsdale. We're going to have that sucker here. Putting a couple $100,000 in upgrades downstairs right now. We're about to make this thing go with the Holy Spirit, baby. Come on. All right, number 9, set boundaries, man. Set boundaries. You just got to set these boundaries so that way you don't give up your self-worth to people that don't deserve it. Set boundaries with yourself, with alcohol, with drugs, with websites, with whatever it is, man. So that way you don't let people in there. And listen, man, you're going to have 99% are surrounding you all day long. So you can't be like, you ain't allowed to talk to me. I'm in my bubble. I'm in my bubble. It's not how that works. It's like, hey, man, thank you. Appreciate you. And you keep rolling. It's like, hey, man, I'm in the car sales lot. We used to call it the 8-car hand circle. They used to stand there and just talk negatively about everybody. I just walk up and I'm like, hey, man, appreciate you. Love you. Thank you. I'm going to go over here and just learn to distance yourself. Learn to get quiet around places you need to get quiet. Learn to move a little bit different. Learn to recognize some of that sense of awareness and just get out of the way, man. Okay. That one's easy to understand. Number 10, celebrate small wins. This one's important. Some of you are waiting for that God-sized, gigantic win, and it's already happened. It's called you being born. Okay. Secondly, these small wins, if you sell something today or you do something today, man, I want you to celebrate yourself, and not in a way where you're where it's like you fall asleep on a win or something. It's like, man, if you say you're going to hit 10 calls today and you hit 10 calls today, I want you to look in the mirror and be like, you're a winner, bro. You are a winner. You said you were going to do it. You did that. Because here's the thing, man. Self-worth is tied to your reputation with yourself. And some of you, you're like, I have a bad reputation with myself. I've lied to myself. I've cheated. I've stolen. I've done all this stuff. Me too, bro. And then a few years ago, I decided that I was reborn in my reputation with myself. I said, that was the old me. You don't exist. So I don't even equate that life to this new me. Start this year. If you're like, hey man, I'm going to do this. Okay. It starts from today, bro. It starts from today. You're the best winner that's ever been born in the history of winning time. You're ready for failure. You're ready to kill it. You don't care what's going to happen. You're going to set your goal today. And it's not tied to revenue. Listen, in the LA group, we manage behaviors. We don't manage revenue. We don't manage results because there's no way to manage an outcome. And if you're tied to the outcome, you're never going to get the outcome. If you're tied to making money, you typically never make money. Okay. When I'm just trying to make money, I never make money. But when I'm tied to the behavior of winning and celebrating the win and knowing even if I didn't sell some shit today, even if I didn't do what maybe the world classifies as a win, but I told myself, hey, I'm going to go into my day and I'm going to accomplish these 5 things. That's a win to me. And I think that a lot of people don't even understand what the winner effect is. Winner effect. Winner, WINNER effect. There's a book. Look it up. The winner effect is a lot of people don't feel like they're winning, so they naturally don't win. There was this study where it was like they put 2 mice together, and the mouse that fought one mice, the mouse that killed the other one, won. And if they put him against 2 mice and he just won, he'd kill both of them. And he could take on a whole slew of them just because he was winning and he had momentum and he could continue to keep winning. It might be like Khabib. Once he got past 13, 14, 15 wins, he just knows he's going to destroy people. It's the winner effect. It's set your days up to know you're winning. That's why you work out in the morning. That's why you do things in the morning to where you get yourself winning. And then you tell yourself, I'm winning. I drive to work. I'm listening to the worship music. I just did the workout. I'm like, bro, I'm such a winner. Holy crap, bro. I know my competition ain't up at 4 a.m. and they probably are. But you know what I tell myself? They ain't up. They don't want it. And then I go into the day, for real, believing that. Okay. So the winner effect is telling yourself you're going to win and then continue to keep winning. And then just to know that you are winning. Some people are like, well, I haven't made $1 million yet. I'm like, that's not winning, bro. That's not what winning is. That's not the winning behavior. That's the future outcome. Okay. Maybe act like your future self that makes $1 million right now. How would that guy talk to himself? How would that girl treat herself? How would that girl treat her family? How would that girl treat her husband? How would that guy treat his business? How would that guy act? And then you'll get some of that. Okay. I see a lot of husbands and wives on here together. That's super cool. If you guys can both bring this to each other, it ain't one of you does this and the other one doesn't. Your wife has to bring it to you. You got to bring it to her. We do talk a lot about the husbands need to lead the house and do all that stuff, but you women need to come along with it. If you want, you're on here and your husband's a savage, feed his savage. Tell him what you see in him. Push him to be better. He starts whining and crying. Say, get your ass up and do this. You're built for this. You're a winner. You're a savage. So my wife is a savage, man. I mean, but we have problems. Me and her have problems. Like we were fighting yesterday about some shit that didn't even matter. And it was mostly because she's on that time of the month. And so I just had to listen, right? I'm being honest with you. I just had to listen. And then I was getting worked up. And then I was like, oh, you don't. And I was like, oh, shit. You're right. Let me listen. Let me understand. Let me tap into some of this emotion because I'm just a guy that wants to be at war. I don't really understand emotions or any of that shit. I don't get caught up in that. But I got to be like, man, men, we got to be tapped into some of that more of that emotional side. And not like the emotional, us pissed off side, the emotional, like, hey, man, they need us to show up differently. Like the way that we show up in work, we also got to show up a little differently at home. We got to put our phones away. That's one of my big things. Guys, I'm not perfect. I get in trouble. So now there's a bowl in front of my house and I just drop it in there and you can't get a hold of me sometimes. And then I sneak over there and I grab it and I text a couple things and I drop the thing right back in there. But I get in trouble too, guys. I am not the most perfect fiance by any means, but I'm trying and I'm getting better and she knows that. That's why I answer her call. Is that important to her? Do you guys think that that's important to her? Do you think that made her feel important? Yeah, most of the time I'd be like, I got shit going on, babe. Stop calling me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the homie has done that, dude. I'm just telling you.
Hey guys, it's the Macklin twins. Let's go. Hey guys, if you have any questions at all, we want you to text us. Our phone number is 480-780-2203, and one of us will get back to you. We got your back for life. Let's get back to the video. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
All right, number 11, develop emotional resilience. Emotional resilience allows you to bounce back from anything, man. It allows you, it doesn't allow any of these things to diminish your self-worth, man. It doesn't allow anything to throw you off. It's basically saying that you just know that that's how life's going to be. And that it doesn't matter. You don't get attached to the emotion of like losing. If you lose and you get your butt kicked today, you show up the next day with the same amount of energy and confidence. Number 12, embrace your authenticity. This is one of the biggest things, man. A lot of people lose their self-worth because they're trying to be somebody else. Being your authentic self is one of the best ways that you can build self-worth. You're no longer relying on like external validation. You are who you are because God created you to be. If people don't like it and they're trying to calm you down, they can choke on it, bro. They can choke on it. People have told me I'm a lot for too long, and now people pay me millions of dollars to be a lot. Okay, the whole time they were trying to calm me down, put me into a corner, make me think a certain way. I refused. I was fighting to get out of that box. I was fighting to get out of it. This can't be it. Shut up. I was getting in trouble, breaking rules, breaking laws. What I'm telling you to be is you. I would show up to speaking events and I would try to be somebody else. And I get really nervous because I'd go into these speaking events and I'm like, all right, I'm going to talk to the crowd like this. My heart would be beating. I'm like, I'm going to talk about this. And, oh man, maybe this is a corporate crowd. So maybe I should talk like this. I don't care where I go, bro. I walk in there like Jesus sent me. I'll walk in there knowing who I am. And I don't care who they are. I care who I am. Who I am. I don't care what they are about. I don't care what's going to happen. I know that God sent me and I'm going in there to have fun. I'm tapped into me. I'm very alert with who I am. I'm very aware of who I am. I am aware of who they are too, but I'm mostly aware of who I am and who I need to be. And I think that that's super powerful. For a long time, we never talked about fitness in the LA group. For a long time, we never talked about Jesus in the LA group. It was things that were important to us, but we're like, dude, our clients, man, they ain't gonna like this. I remember like 3 years ago, Andy went out and started talking about fitness and, he started talking about God and we had these companies and we had a lot of people canceled. And I was like, oh no, Andy, I don't know if you should be doing this, man. And our business went like this. And then our business shot up like 300x next month. And people were like, that's what I want because it was just who we are. I don't got to pretend to be anybody else. So like getting on a call like this is really how I live. I'm having a conversation with myself right now. So number 13, let go of perfectionism. Some of you want to be perfect so bad, man. And you're like, oh, let me get my sales call perfect. Let me get everything perfect. Let me just make this exactly how it should be, man. Man, you gotta shoot first and ask questions later, man. You gotta start firing that gun and then figuring it out. You don't have a perfect business, man. We figured out a lot of things. We're getting better every single day, man. Every single day, every single second. But a lot of people don't have a business because they never started. A lot of people don't have a sales career because they never just keep going. Number 14, affirm your self-worth. Regularly affirm through positive self-talk, self-reminders. I just was talking to Jesse Cloud. He's one of our top coaches, man. so proud of that kid. I coached that kid for about 4 years now. Now he's one of our top earners in our company. He's amazing. He's incredible. He's a warrior. And he showed me his business plan for the year. And he's and I'll tell you what, Jesse's number one superpower is he's the most consistent guy in the room. He made a decision with me to be in our sales program 4 years ago, and he never left. He was on a lot. He wasn't on every call, never needed to be. He was on calls. He never gave up. He showed up to 6 or 7 seminars a year, out earned everybody in the auto industry. Now he's doing the same thing here. And he stayed true to himself, man. And he ultimately he bought his dream house on the mountain right over here. He got his mom a place over here. He just had his little cousin fly down and buy a plane ticket. And his cousin looks up to him online so much that his cousin was just sitting across from him asking him all these questions. And Jesse was like, man, it was a really good moment for me because that's what I wanted to be. And I fought for 4 years to where I could have my mom have a house, to where I could cover her bills, to where I could have this 4-bedroom house, and I could have my cold plunge in my garage and all this stuff. And he's like, I went through hell for that stuff, man. I went through hell for it, but I stayed committed. I always believed in you, but most importantly, I always believed in myself. You got to have that because the world's going to try to talk you out of believing in yourself. And you got to tell yourself it's going to come. It's just going to take a little time. It's basically already happened. It's just, change is instant. Results take time. So it might just take a little time. Okay. Number 15, recognize self-sabotage. This is going to be the most important one of the 15 probably of this year. You got to recognize when you're doing things that aren't good for you, and you got to stop doing them. You just got to stop doing them. Remember I said you got 2 choices. Do the things that you know you should be doing and stop doing the things that you know you shouldn't be doing. Just stop doing them. Get around people that can see the future of you in you, man. They can see that God in you, man. They can see what they created in you. Get rid of the people that can. Get rid of the people that can. Number 16, invest in self-care. All these things keep your self-worth on fire. And by the way, they're not scientific. I just wrote it myself. So if they don't work, they ain't back by studies, because studies ain't usually bullshit. This is just what I do every day. I got like 5 gym passes. You know why? Because I prioritize myself. I was telling Jesse, because Jesse works really hard. He works like 13 hours a day. And he's like, Ian, man, sometimes it's a lot, man. I'm like, yeah, Jesse, you need to stop working so damn hard sometimes. Like, some of y'all need to work harder. Like 98% of y'all need to work harder. And some guys like Jesse, I got to peel him back, bro. I'm like, listen, bro, you need to go an hour during the day, drive to Scottsdale, get this lifetime gym pass that has this really cool facility where you can go in there and just spend some time with you in that hot tub, in that steam room, in that cold plunge, and just connect with yourself. Jesse, you're working all day, every day. I appreciate you. Dude, do I want my sales guy working all day, every day? Yeah, sure. But I just wish I could get like maybe a few more of them to do Jesse, but I'm cool. I just want Jesse to take care of him. Because if Jesse takes care of him and spends 10 more hours away from the office, I'm sure he'll do even better than he does. Okay? When's your boss telling you to do more for yourself? They're not, because they don't understand it. I know I understand it. I know if he takes care of him at an extremely high level, he already does. He's jacked. He's in shape. He prioritizes himself. I just want him to prioritize it more because he's such a dog. He's such mission focused that sometimes he forgets that he has to just take care of himself. He eats really clean. He works out really hard. But I'm like, Jesse, you just need to take some time to just be with you. I take that time all the time. I head down to Scottsdale. I got these different gyms for different energy. And before I had money to do that, you know what I did? Took a walk by myself, man. Dreamed by myself. I hung out by myself, man, and just tapped into my own energy. You know what I mean? Do things for you. I got a Masogi coming up, and it's like, you run, you do something that pushes you. And that stuff to me is like being by myself. I really love it. So like, I see a lot of people that got to like prepare for like, there's a lot of like extreme challenges out there. I've honestly done a lot of extreme challenges without a lot of preparation because I have a mentality that I feel like I can go run a marathon and not try. Like I honestly don't think I have to prepare for a lot of things because I think it's all up here. And so I'll do these challenges where I prove myself right and I'll go do something extremely hard that sucks and I'll kill it, man. But we do a lot of those hard things because it does create self-worth in you. Go run a Spartan challenge. Go do a Tough Mudder. Go do something like that and it'll build that self-confidence in you. Prioritize that self-care. To me, it's also self-challenging. Stop comparing yourself. You're like, oh my God, he has a Lamborghini. He's my age. Who gives a shit, man? Stop comparing yourself, dude. That's the thief of self-worth. That is the thief of self-worth. That is the thief of joy. The enemy wants you to not have that joy. The enemy wants you to compare yourself to everybody else, to think you're not worth it, to think of all of these things that don't suit the person you are. Listen, man, your Lamborghini's coming. Your shit's coming. That guy's shit might go. Who cares about that guy? That guy might have caught on a little bit faster than you because you might have had to go through 7, 8, 10, 15 years of hard shit because you're getting ready for a jet. You're getting ready for something giant. You're getting ready for big freaking things. But the minute that you look over, and women, men, everybody listen to this, the minute that you start comparing your relationship to mine, the minute your relationship's going to suffer. The minute you start comparing your relationship to other people's, well, hey, Ryan, they do that. Dude, you don't know what those people are going through. You don't know that. You know how many couples reach out to me and they look perfect on the internet and really they're close to a divorce or something? A lot. A lot of people stop comparing on the internet. It's nothing. Me and my wife have a lot of issues all the time. I'm working through them. I'm new to this shit. I've never been great in relationships. Like literally, dude, this is my first one that's lasted longer than a few years. Okay? I'm just being honest with you guys. You know what I'm saying? But then you look at mine online and you're like, oh my God, have you seen Ian and Miranda? Yeah, Ian and Miranda are great, man. They love each other. They're working really hard on their family. But make no mistake about it, we still have troubles. Okay? Jackie and Andy are amazing. They probably learned because they've been together for 17 years, but you've been together for 6 and you're comparing to that. Take some of it, use some of it, but understand there's different chapters to this game, people. And the minute you start being like, well, I'm 64 and this guy's 30 and he did this, bro, who cares? Look at most billionaires were created that like, look at Jeff Bezos, look at Colonel Sanders. A lot of these guys, they started their careers when they failed to their 50s, bro. They failed to their 50s. A lot of them didn't even start learning things like we're learning till their 40s. Andy Elliott didn't even have a decent life until he was 39. I mean, dude, Andy's life is 400x in 5 strong years. 5 strong years. Andy and Jackie, when I first met them, were driving dollar cars. Andy would pull up to a seminar and you could smell the clutch inside the seminar. Because he didn't know how to drive stick, bro. And you're like, oh, well, Andy's got 5 Ferraris and this and that. Bro, he didn't have that 5 years ago. He didn't care. Andy was still the same person as he is today. He was still happy. He was still joyful. He was, his Jeep. I went like, we gave that to him as a surprise at a seminar. The first seminar we had in Arizona. He hadn't had a new car in 5 years, dude. He made sacrifices. They slept on mattresses. You know what I mean? Like their life just now came together. Dude, he's 42 years old. He fell his way to find success, to find his identity. And you know what? All of those things has now made him have this fear of being that person for the 39 years. And so now he knows what not to do. He looked back at that failure and said, I don't like it. I'm going to stop doing it. And then he became different. Okay? So whatever's been through your life, it's serving you, man. Come on. 18, redefine success. What is success? Success to me, man, it's doing what I say I'm going to do because that's my self-worth. It's spending great time with my family. It's adopting high standards. It's having a lot of fun. It's smiling. It's understanding that I only got this moment. I truly could get hit by a car tomorrow on my way home. And I only got this Zoom. I only have these things. And if I can live in that state, man, I'm successful. I don't need money to be successful. I have money. That makes me not. That doesn't make me a whole lot more successful. What makes me successful is trying hard in my relationship when it's hard. What makes me successful is not giving up. What makes me successful is showing up every day. What makes me successful is I go home and I rank my attitude. And if it was bad attitude, if it was a bad attitude, then the next day I rank it. I'm like, hey, that was a bad attitude, bro. Come on, man. And then that's successful because I got out of my bad attitude. How fast you can get up, how fast you can change your mind. That's the number one differentiator of successful people. Dude, you get your butt kicked the next day, you come back. That's my definition of winning. I just found you come back the next day and you got a great attitude. You don't have a bad attitude. You ain't thinking of none of that stuff. That's winning, man. That is winning. Winning ain't money. Winning is that, man. Taking risks. Taking a risk, betting on yourself, getting outside your comfort zone and seeing that you have everything that it takes for everything that you need. But if you don't freaking take that risk, you ain't never going to hit it. Visualize success. Guys, I visualized 4 years ago, you guys being. I told Jackie 4 years ago here in Oklahoma, and I said, and I'm sure she had her visualizations. I said, I see our team standing where there's mountains and we have palm trees. And I'd never been to Arizona. I didn't know Arizona had palm trees. I see our team making calls. They're fired up. We're outside. The grill's on. It's sunny out. We got all the right people around us. We got a gym. I know what the gym's going to look like. I've worked out and I feel it. Guys, 10 years ago, I was on Snapchat talking about the Lions Den. I used to call my dealership the Lions Den. 10 years ago, I used to say that I was going to be a sales trainer. I used to say all of these things and people would make fun of me. And 10 years ago, I was dreaming these things. My mom will tell you everything that I've ever dreamed, if I say it's going to happen, it happens. I said I was going to have a kid when I was 34 because I was and I'm not judging you if you have a kid early on. Okay. My brother had a kid 8 years ago, but I just I saw my mom have to do both roles. And I was like, man, it would be amazing if I could have my wife just be able to work just be able to be home. And I'm like, that's going to take me a long time. I thought and honestly, I could have done a lot more steps to do it differently. But I always told my mom I'm going to have my first baby at 34. It was really weird that I did. I told Andy and Jack, I'm like, dude, we're going to be here. Here's what this is going to feel like. Here's what our team's going to look like. And we would just dream out loud. Always dream with people that are big dreamers. Don't dream with people that are small dreamers, because even some of your best friends, there is a couple people that are close to me that I don't dream with because they'll always be like, yeah, but she'd and they try to iterate my dream. And I'm like, I don't need that, bro. I don't need that. I don't need your 2 cents. I need you to tell me it's possible. I dreamed of this house I lived in. I knew what a pool was going to look like. I knew my wife was freaking out one time because the last 2 times we moved, I've had scheduled stuff that I couldn't get out of. We were going to Dubai. She's like, we have to get this house handled. It has to be bought. This has to happen. This has to happen. This has to happen. And it's a rental house, by the way. And people ask me why I've always rented, because, dude, every 6 months I want to move because my dream adjusts. And so I'm like, dude, I'll invest in other shit. I don't invest in personal real estate because I am never in the same house for longer than 6 months. For me, it's it always adjusts and I'm always going up and I'm always changing it. And then I feel like I need to live in another neighborhood. And then I'm in another neighborhood and I have cooler neighbors. And it's for me, it works for me. Okay. It's not the best financial decision. I know it's cool. I don't give a shit. Here's what I know. My wife was telling me she's stressing out. We're have to be out of this house. And she's like, and I'm like, it's going to happen. I've already dreamed it. And she's like, stop with the dreaming shit, Ian. That's not how it works. Last time you were gone, we had to live in a freaking hotel and it didn't work out. I was like, it did work out because remember, then next week, we moved stuff into storage. And then next week we got this one that you really liked for 6 months. And so I was like, it's going to happen. I feel it. Jesus, it's happening. I see the pool. I've seen the yard. I've seen we got this little putt-putt thing on the side of our house. I've seen the doors open up. I heard the surround sound system. It sounds sick. And she's like, it's just stop the bullshit, Ian. Okay? And then she calls me. That's how Jesus works. I'm never stressed out about it. She calls me, and Dubai's happening in 4 days. She's like, there's this lady. Oh my God. And she needs a renter. She's moving to Germany and she wants to meet with us. And it's everything that you've been talking about. I'm like, let's go right now. I go over there. It's exactly what I told her. And guess what street that it's on? Our son's name. Come on, bro. Hey, we're doing a walkthrough of this house, and you know what I did? I was just looking at it. And this brings me to my final point. Hey, trust the process. It's going to take time, man. You don't become an NBA Hall of Famer overnight, bro. You got to run drills for some years, man. You got to hang in there. You can't quit. You got to see it through. You can't let the world distract you. I told Abe, I said, right when you get ready to break through, that enemy is he's gonna try to convince you you're not worthy. He's gonna convince you to go back to your old self. The enemy is lurking in the shadows, and he's trying to grab you and bring you back to this old you, that old piece of shit. That one that thinks a certain way, he's trying to just whip you back, dude. And there's a point where you just cross the line and there's no coming back, and he just gives up because he's got better shit to do. It might take 5 years. It might take 2 years. If you hang around us long enough, we'll break that enemy out of your life. And honestly, he's still after me because I'm not fully broken through to who I am. But man, it's so much harder for him, dude. He's spending a lot of time trying to mess with my life, and I've gotten through it. And also, I've trusted the process. I've stayed in the game. I've trusted this personal development process. The last part I'm going to say on this is you're not training for 2025. Lee Murphy, you're not training for 2025. Jackson, you're not training for 2025. Amateurs, they take training like a pain pill. Professionals take training like a vitamin. You got to trust the process. You got to keep shooting the shots. You got to keep having the fun. And if you can do that, and you can continue to keep doing that, and keep doing that, you're like, that sounds hard. It's going to be hard. It's life. But it's a lot harder not to do it. It's a lot harder to quit. It's a lot harder, guys, to start a training program and stop a training program. It's a lot harder to cancel. It's a lot easier to cancel tomorrow, next month. Your membership is month to month. You can cancel next month. But you know what you're not going to learn? Who you could become if you stayed on this mission for a long time. So I would urge you to be with us all 2025. I would urge you to pick a seminar that you can get to very soon so you can be around the energy, around the growth, around the network, okay? And I'm forever thankful for you guys. I dreamed that we would have this group of amazing people. We truly have the best community. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. If you need anything from me, please let me know. Let's kill it. Let's have an amazing year. Let's have a record year. Increase that self-worth. It'll increase your net worth. Let's go.
All right, guys, you're the true 1%ers. You made it to the end of the video. Let's go. Like, comment so we know who you are down below, and then share this video to somebody else who needs it. And also turn your notifications on because we got the fire coming every single day. Amazing. We'll see you at the next video. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.